In this video, let's talk about migrating to cloud, right? So, what are the main reasons, motivating factors to migrate to the cloud, and how do we do the actual migration process, right? So, cloud migration is a process of moving your data, application, and all other business elements from on-premise setup to a cloud environment, something like to AWS or Azure or Google Cloud, right? You have been using a private cloud for your business, but now you want to migrate it to the cloud because on premise it is costly and it is very less scalable. So we if business demands, we may have to migrate our whole application and the business into the cloud platform, right? So it allows businesses to leverage cloud computing's scalability, flexibility, and cost effectiveness. So all the advantages of cloud will come if you move your business, your application from the on-premise server to the cloud platform, right? And it offers lot of advantages. The benefits, we all know what are the benefits of moving or working or deploying our applications in the cloud, right? Benefits like cloud efficiency, cost efficiency, scalability, flexibility and agility, improved collaboration, and security and disaster recovery, right? So all the benefits of cloud computing will come here if you are migrating your application to the cloud, right? So then there are different cloud migration strategies. Okay, there are different cloud migrations. How do we migrate that? There are different ways of doing it, right? So we call it as cloud migration services. There are different services or different variations or types of doing cloud migration. Okay, the first one is rehosting. It's also called as lift and shift. It is as simple as that. Stop everything in the on-premise, start everything in the cloud. Okay, stop here, shift everything to the cloud and start it there, right? So it involves taking an existing application and migrating it directly to the cloud. Okay, this method involves minimal changes to the application and is the quickest way to move workloads to the cloud, right? So this is one of the best ways of doing. What benefits we get here? See, we are not making any changes. It is like, just like shifting your furniture. When you are shifting your home from one house to the other, what we do? House remains same. We just take our belongings, furniture, everything, and we move it there. It is as simple as that. Rehosting means that, right? And the second one is replatforming. Okay, replatforming is something like you are making small improvements, you are making small changes, right? See, in replatforming, applications are moved to the cloud with slight modifications to optimize them for the cloud environments. To make the business, to make the application adjustable or compatible with the cloud, we have to make small modifications. Okay, it means small improvements, but the structure is same. Slight changes we may need to do. This may involve upgrading the underlying platform or changing how the application interacts with the storage and computing resources, right? But we'll keep the overall application architecture same. Architecture remains same, slight modifications we do. This is replatforming. And the third one is repurchasing, right? So what is this repurchasing? What you do here, you basically replace the whole application with a new product, right? So your application, your legacy application which you want to move from on-premise to the cloud, you will not move that same thing. Instead of that, you will take advantage of some SaaS applications, software as a service solutions. Maybe you are using some Word document, you will not do that. You will use some Google Doc kind of thing, right? So repurchasing involves replacing legacy applications with the cloud-based software as a service. There are so many SaaS applications readily available in the cloud, and your application needs something similar to that. So instead of running the existing your code, what we will do, we will try to use the new products which are available in the cloud platform, right? So another simple way of repurchasing could be, instead of you cooking food at home, maybe you can get a meal from online, some app. It is as that, right? And the fourth one is refactoring. What is refactoring here? Basically it's a software term. Refactoring means re-architecting, okay, redesigning, right? So refactoring means, also another meaning of refactoring is breaking down into small pieces. So refactoring refers to reusing the application code and frameworks while adapting it to run more efficiently on platform as a service. Okay, so here what happens in this refactoring, we will redesign, we do some customization, we'll do some major changes in the application so that it is much suitable with the cloud platform, right? So then the next one is retiring. Retiring means eliminating or deleting some useless services. Okay, so we are using some application, but we will have to remove them. We are not using it anymore. They are not required while migrating, because since it's a legacy application, lot of unnecessary features might have been added. Lot of unnecessary services might be available in that, which are not required now, because you are going to use cloud. They will charge money for you. So don't dump everything what is there in the on premise. Move only the actual part of the application, right? So retiring involves decommissioning or discontinuing applications that are no longer needed or useful, right? This strategy is typically applied to outdated or redundant applications. So since you got a chance to move your application from one platform to the other, you need not take everything with you, right? Then the sixth one is retaining. So what happens in retaining here? What we do here, we keep some things as it is. Okay, we keep some things as it is. So when you are migrating your application from on-premise to the cloud, certain part of the application will be as it is. We will not change them, right? So in some cases, businesses choose to keep certain applications on-premise. We will not shift them to cloud. We will have it with ourselves only. The remaining part will be moved to the cloud. Maybe something like database credentials, right? Login credentials of users. Those things can be retained in my private cloud or on-premise cloud. Rest all can be thrown into the cloud, right? And the final one is hybrid cloud migration. So again, basically combination of private and public, mix of cloud, public cloud and on-premise, right? So in this what happens? Hybrid migration involves using both on-premise as well as the cloud, and to create a mixed environment. So we will use both on-premise as well as the public cloud. So this offers flexibility by allowing businesses to maintain certain workloads on-premise while moving others to the cloud, right? So these are 7 different types of cloud migration services, right? Rehosting, replatforming, repurchasing, refactoring, retiring, retaining and hybrid cloud migration, right? And basically what are the different phases of cloud migration? What steps are involved in migration of the cloud? So the first one, prepare, then plan, migrate, operate and optimize. Simple step, right? In prepare phase, businesses assess their existing infrastructure, understand their infrastructure and evaluate which applications and data are ready for migration, right? Preparation also includes defining goals, selecting a cloud provider and creating a migration plan. Okay, what is your plan to migrate? That also will be created. The second step is plan. This phase focuses on developing a detailed roadmap for the migration. It includes identifying the right tools, defining the migration timeline, outlining the resources needed for successful transition. So how much time you will take to migrate it, what all tools are required or resources are required for doing the migration. Everything is planned in the second phase. The third phase is the actual phase where the migration happens, where the data and the applications are transferred to the cloud. They are shifted from the on-premise to the cloud, right? The migration process may involve rehosting or refactoring applications to ensure that they are optimized or compatible with the cloud environment. And the fourth one is operate, the actual process, right? Once the migration is completed, we start that business, we launch our application, and we do some monitoring also, some operations like performance monitoring, troubleshooting and managing resources. We observe how is that application working in the cloud, that is operate. And the last phase is optimize. What we do here now, since the application is working fine, we now focus on optimizing the cost. How to, we will focus more on improving the performance to scale the resources and enhancing security. In step 4, we are just starting it and checking whether it is working fine or not after the migration. In 5th step, since it is working fine, now we will focus on optimizing it, right? So this is different phases of cloud migration. So migrating to cloud gives us lot of benefits, and there are different ways of migrating, and the phases included in migration are these 5. Okay, so this is about migrating to cloud.